Welcome, KSLU law students. Settle down, please. Today's explainer is literally your definitive lecture on the 16-mark examination question distinguishing Muta and Nikah marriages. I expect your absolute full attention here. Look, this is a core area of family law, and honestly, the way you structure your answer will determine whether you secure an average grade or top marks. We're going to strictly analyze the statutory definitions, the essential elements, and of course, those vital case laws you simply must reproduce in your answer script. Let's get started.
Right. I want you to take down this exact synopsis. 1. Introduction to Muslim marriages. 2. Muta marriage essential elements. 3. Features of permanent nikah. 4. Muta and nikah distinction. 5. Landmark case laws. And 6. Evaluation and final conclusion. Listen to me. You must draw this exact table of contents on the very first page of your answer booklet. It signals a disciplined legal mind to your evaluator.
Okay, Section 1. Introduction to Muslim marriages.
Now, a strong, precise introduction is completely mandatory to set up the legal dichotomy for your university evaluator. You don't just start by rambling, okay? You start with a solid foundation. Quote, under Muslim law, nikah is a permanent civil contract. However, Shia Law recognizes a special temporary form called Muta marriage. Write this verbatim. Establishing this fundamental difference right off the bat immediately demonstrates a clear grasp of the syllabus. You're basically telling the examiner right away that you understand the general rule, which is the permanent civil contract, and the specific jurisdictional exception, which is the temporary Muta marriage.
Moving on to Section 2, Muta marriage essential elements. Now, draw a line and move to your next heading in your exam script. Use clear, underlined headings exactly like this to neatly separate your concepts. Muta, literally meaning pleasure, it is a temporary marriage for a fixed period with a specified dower. Now, students, underline the words fixed period and specified dower in your notes right now. I mean it. For maximum marks, the examiner absolutely must see those two phrases. Without a fixed period and a specified dower, you haven't defined Muta correctly in the eyes of the law.
Your next subheading is recognition. Recognized under Shia law, not recognized under Sunni law. Stating this jurisdictional boundary is a non-negotiable requirement for this specific exam question. If you fail to mention the Sunni law does not recognize this institution, your answer is fundamentally incomplete, and you will lose marks.
Now let's look at the essential elements. Write these down carefully. Number 1, specified period, meaning the duration must be clearly fixed. Number 2, dower or mahr, which absolutely must be specified at the time of the contract. And number 3, consent, meaning the free consent of the parties is required. Conceptually, you have to understand and explain in your script that the absence of a fixed duration or a specified dower entirely voids this temporary contract. It doesn't just convert into a permanent marriage, it becomes completely void. The strict adherence to these specific elements is exactly what gives the Muta marriage its legal validity.
So what happens once the contract is executed? The legal effects are as follows. The wife is entitled to dower. Children are legitimate. No mutual right of inheritance. And it ends automatically after expiry. I want you to pause right here and put a giant star next to no mutual right of inheritance. This is a vital concept to memorize for the distinction table we'll cover in a minute. The husband and wife simply do not inherit from each other in a Muta marriage. Furthermore, notice that there's no need for a formal divorce. The marriage just extinguishes the exact moment the specified period expires.
All right, Section 3, features of permanent nikah.
Now, you might be wondering, why are we defining nikah in a question specifically about Muta? Well, because defining the standard nikah establishes the necessary legal baseline to properly contrast against the Muta framework. You can't distinguish a concept with properly defining the standard first, right? So note down this definition exactly. Nikah, a permanent union between a man and woman for procreation and lawful companionship. In your exam, that precise phrase, procreation and lawful companionship, must be written perfectly. It captures the core philosophy of permanent marriage under Muslim law. It's not merely a contract of cohabitation. It is specifically for the long-term establishment of a family.
Let's look at the features. No fixed duration, creates mutual rights and obligations, includes rights of inheritance, and it's dissolved only by divorce or death. When you write this, you need to dissect how these permanent legal mechanisms drastically differ from the Muta marriage. Here, the union doesn't just politely expire. It requires a formal legal act of dissolution, divorce, or, obviously, the unfortunate event of death. Furthermore, it inherently carries mutual inheritance rights, unlike the temporary arrangement we just studied.
Section 4. Muta and Nikah distinction.
Okay, let's really dive into this. Because this is where you secure the bulk of your 16 marks. Listen, if you write everything else perfectly but mess up this distinction table, you will lose significant marks. I command all of you to draw this exact 7-point distinction matrix on page 4 of your answer script. Let's briskly but rigorously contrast each row line by line. First basis, nature. Muta is temporary, nikah is permanent. Second, recognition. Muta is recognized only in Shia law, nikah is recognized in both Sunni and Shia law. Third, duration. Muta is fixed, nikah is unlimited. Fourth, dower. In Muta, specification of dower is absolutely essential at the time of contract. In nikah, it is essential but not always required immediately to validate the marriage itself. Fifth, inheritance. In Muta, there is no mutual inheritance between spouses. In nikah, mutual inheritance exists. Sixth, dissolution. Muta ends automatically when the term expires. Nikah requires formal divorce or death. And finally, seventh, maintenance. Muta provides limited maintenance rights. Nikah provides full maintenance rights to the wife. Memorize this matrix, students. It's the absolute backbone of your examination answer.
Next up, Section 5, Landmark Case Laws. Now pay very close attention. Citing these specific case laws is the ultimate exam tip to elevate your answer script from a simple passing grade to the absolute highest tier of marks. Evaluators look for authority, and judicial precedents provide that unshakable authority. The first case is Shoharat Singh v. Jafri Begum. I want you to explicitly write this case name in a separate box format right in the middle of your page. Do this to immediately grab the KSLU evaluator's attention. Make it literally impossible for them to miss the fact that you know your jurisprudence. The ratio dissidenda here is clear. Recognize the validity of Muta marriage under Shia law. You absolutely must detail the relevance of this case in your answer. The brief background of such matters usually involves disputes over whether a temporary arrangement holds any legal water at all. While the final verdict of the court here firmly recognized that under Shia jurisprudence, Muta is a legally valid institution. The relevance of this case is absolute. It formalizes the validity of the contract in the eyes of the formal court system, which was a massively crucial historical step in protecting the legal status of the parties involved.
The second landmark case is Sadiq Hussain v. Hashim Ali. Write it down, and just as before, underline the parties involved. Sadiq Hussain on one side, Hashim Ali on the other, to showcase your rigorous academic preparation to the examiner.
Ratio decidendi. Clarified legal incidents of Muta marriage. Affirmed the legitimacy of children born from Muta marriage. Now, why does this case matter so much? Well, the background involves intense disputes regarding the rights of the offspring from temporary unions. The final verdict here provided vital legal protection. The court explicitly affirmed that children born out of these temporary Muta unions are fully legitimate. This means they carry legal rights, including rights to inheritance from their parents, even if the parents don't inherit from each other. Make absolutely sure you detail this distinction clearly in your exam.
Finally, Section 6, Evaluation and Final Conclusion.
Providing a critical academic evaluation at the end of your answer demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of jurisprudence to your examiner. You aren't just a parrot repeating facts, okay? You are a legal scholar analyzing the law. Critical evaluation, often criticized as temporary and exploitative, however, provides legal recognition to relationships, ensures legitimacy and rights to children. You must impartially break down this duality in your exam script. Acknowledge the critique that the temporary nature can certainly be viewed as exploitative, but balance it immediately against the vital necessity of the law. By regulating it, the law provides actual legal recognition to the relationship, and most importantly, secures the legitimacy and rights of the innocent children born from it.
I want you to note this concluding statement slowly and deliberately. Write it down. While Nikah ensures stability and long-term rights, Muta is a temporary contractual arrangement with limited legal consequences. Memorize this exact phrase. I want you to write this as your final closing paragraph to neatly tie up the distinction. It perfectly encapsulates the entire 16-mark answer in one elegant sentence.
As we conclude this lecture, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. If Makata provides necessary legitimacy to children, does its temporary nature ultimately serve or hinder the broader principles of Islamic jurisprudence? I encourage you to ponder the real-world jurisprudential implications of this dichotomy long after you've submitted your exam papers. Understanding the why behind the law will make you not just a better law student, but a truly formidable advocate. Keep studying hard, review these slides, and prepare rigorously. Dismissed.